And that's how the theme song goes. Hey there. Welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. And if you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Okay. Now that we've got that out of the way. Oh my God. You know what I forgot to do? I have another piece of copy to read today, and I did not pull it up. But you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll tell you about my day as I continue to pull this up. So I just arrived back home from work. It's an undeterminate amount of time in the day. It's very sweaty outside, very hot. I don't want to do it. I'm so sick of it. You know, and actually, I've had this epiphany a couple of times. Last week I went to a different gym. Just not last week. One day last week. One day last Thursday I went to a different gym, and one that's very close to me, as opposed to the one that's 30 minutes away from me right now. And I thought, it's a really nice gym, really nice place, very tiny. It's, I would say, about the size of my apartment, which is fairly large, but also incredibly small for a gym. And they have a bunch of squat racks. They got a couple of benches, a bunch of squat racks. I say three. They have 3 squat racks, a couple of benches, 2 of which are flat and one's incline. And then they have a whole row of dumbbells for the curls and everything. And they have, just the run-of-the-mill treadmills and one row machine, and that's pretty much it. And then they have this room in the back where they specialize in fast twitch classes. So that's where you can do fast twitch stuff. And so that's where I have a ladder. Every Thursday I do ladder workouts, ladder exercises to keep my fast twitch movements up. And that's when I do my power cleans and my snatches and stuff, as opposed to just regular squatting. And I do a lot of leg stuff. I've got great legs, good butt, knock on wood, that all stays the same. So I wonder if the people below me heard me. Anyway, they probably did. I should not do that twice. Let's do a third time for just for rule of threes. Okay. So I got there. I usually wake up at 5:30, go to the gym. I've been doing that for years. But I woke up at 5:30. I went to that gym, and they have this fast twitch class that starts at 6:30, 7:30, and 8:30, and then they take like a break, and then like 12:30, and then one more at 4:30. I went before 6:30. The guy, the teacher's already in there. He's already doing his thing. He's already working out and stuff. He goes, "All right, hey man, I got a class." Huge guy. I don't know how he's doing fast twitch stuff, but I assume he's really fast. I don't want to mess with him. He goes, "Hey man, I got a class at 6:30 for fast twitch." I go, "Yeah man, I understand." He goes, "All right, just let me get out of here." And so I tried to rush through. And at this point I arrived there at like 5:45. I had to, again, and this place is at Pond City Market. So, which means, I have to pay for parking, but I get a discount on the paying for parking because because I would have gone to this gym, and you have to do this whole Park Mobile app thing, and, you put in the promo code. It's still 60 cents, as opposed to the $2 for the half hour or the 2 hours. That's only in the morning. So I'm not going to go to that gym in the first place. But anyway, so I go there, I do the thing. And by the time I even stretch and start, it's about 5:45, 5:50. It takes me 2 minutes to get there, but I have to do all this stuff. So I'm there, I'm stretching, and then I finish, and the guy tells me, I go, "Oh crap." So I got to rush through my ladder and stuff. And people are wandering in at 6:15. Like, guys, the class starts at 6:30. You have some time. And now they're all standing near me and watching me do my workout. It sucks and everything, and I just hated doing it. So I'm not going to go to that gym. It's a nice gym, but it's not a gym that I would pay for. Now, that's the second gym in that gym family. They have a different one in Buckhead at Lenox, which is 15 minutes away from me. And would be better for the price, versus paying the $56 or $14 a week, $14 a week, but $56 to go to that small one. And so I would have to go to Buckhead, and it's huge. From the pictures I saw on Google, it's huge, and it's basically its own mall in its own right. And I would love to go there, but right now I just can't. So I still have to go to my old gym. Which is at Sandy Springs, which is about, in the morning, it's a 20-minute drive on the highway, and then, coming back during the day. And coming back at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, because I spend so much time at the gym. Coming back at like 8 o'clock in the morning, it's a half hour drive, essentially sitting in traffic, and it sucks so much. It blows. But I'm paying half of what I would pay for. They are starting up again. These, let me tell you. Let me read this copy first before I had to write. I'd like to talk to you about the comedian named Blake Wexler's new album, Stuff Boy. Topics for the album include night terrors, taking PMS medication for a hangover. It makes me laugh every time I read that. And the discovery of a legendary pitcher's LinkedIn account. Plus, comedian Todd Glass, introduces fellow comedian Wexler. So he's got to be a good comedian. They're both funny. Stuff Boy is out now wherever albums are sold. Check out Stuff Boy. It's a funny album. So anyway, also, pause on that other story. What I noticed is these people, these construction workers, they have the weirdest times to do construction. So I come home from the gym usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, and they start at, I would say, 10:15. Then they go until about 11:30. Then they pause for 2 hours. And then they come back at 2:30, and then they pause for they go until like 4 or 3:30. Then they pause a little bit, and then they go from like 5 to 7, and then they stop. It's so strange. It's so odd just to hear them, and I don't know what they're building. I don't know if this is building or anything. But anyway, that gym's great. There's one more gym I have to try out, but it is $80. It is called Atlanta Barbell. The last gym I was talking about was the Forum. They have the Forum at Pont City Market and the Forum at Buckhead. That's the one at Lennox. That's the one I would go to in Buckhead. This other gym that I've been researching for a year. I've been wanting to go to this gym for a very long time. It's a powerlifter's gym. It's a weightlifter's gym. It's the gym that for me and a bunch of people, like, I don't know, like Terry, that's a Terry Crews gym. It's a Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gym. Actually, The Rock, I looked at his Iron Paradise. I study Iron Paradise. I study the gym that he brings around to every movie and TV shoot he does. And Iron Paradise, it's what it is he pays a company to truck a company with a semi-truck to truck his stuff all across the United States, and I assume the world. So he has all these machines. And what I noticed is he doesn't use he doesn't use racks, essentially. He doesn't have a bench press or squat rack. They're all machines. I guess it's easier. I don't know. But he's a big guy, so maybe he's doing it right. Maybe I'm the one doing it wrong because I love free weights. And so he pays a company to go around and ship that stuff to wherever he is, and he calls it Iron Paradise. So right now he's filming the Disney Jungle Cruise, and with Emily Blunt and James McCaster, I think that's his name, the comedian, who's playing a gay character, and people are mad because he's not a gay man. But anyway, and he has Iron Paradise there, and there's a tent over Iron Paradise, and of course he lets everyone else use it, but that's insane. So anyway, this place is called Atlanta Barbell, and also it costs, I think, don't quote me on this, I think hundreds of thousands of dollars for this to be shipped. Which is, of course, it's no petty cash to The Rock, but it is something that is worth it because he's gonna make that back tenfold. Anyway, but I wonder how much it costs. I think I heard something like $500,000, something like that, or $150,000. It's a crazy figure that I thought, like, oh yeah, I would do this if I had the money. I would ship my own gym, but also it's a crazy amount of money. Anyway. The gym is called, Atlanta Barbell. It's in Decatur. It's about 15 to 20 minutes away from me. And I've timed that in the morning. So, and I have not been there, but it is in an unassuming building. They got a garage door, and they have all these squat racks everywhere. What I think it is. I think it's all rack gym. I don't think there's a turf section. I think there are boxes maybe. I don't know if there are dumbbells. I genuinely do not know because they don't have a lot of pictures on the website. And it is $80 to go there. $80 if you choose the auto draft. $90 if you just pay month to month. And what you get out of it. There's no amenities. There's no pool. There's no massage. My gym has it's called the One Life Cinema. So you're just watching a movie. You're essentially, you're running on a treadmill or you're using an exercise bike or an elliptical, and you're watching a movie that they chose, movie of the day that they chose. And you just go into this dark room it looks a lot like a movie theater, but it just has a treadmill and elliptical, and it's not huge. It's probably the size. It's probably double this room that I'm in right now, and that's it. And it's just dark, but it's nice. So anyway, I don't use it because I don't like to watch stuff as I work out. So I have to make that very abundantly clear. So I don't think there's any amenities there, and I can actually check Atlanta. Oh boy, I spelled Atlanta wrong. Atlanta Barbell. But one of the things that they offer you with this $80 membership is you get to come to the weightlifting meets for free. You think I care about that? I gotta tell you, I don't. I don't care. Yeah, all I'm seeing is racks. All I'm seeing are a bunch. I urge you to go look this up. And they have like 3 showers, a couple of stalls for pooping and all that stuff. They have Olympics. Like you can do Olympic rings. They do have boxes. I do see a couple of dumbbells, but that's it. Guys, there's no turf. And I love every gym should have turf so I can do ladder workout. They have rowing machines. They have two rowing machines, 2 bikes. 1 hamstring machine and 2 sled. They have sled lanes. That's cool. But yeah, okay. Well, there you go. I didn't want to talk about that for that long, but they have cubbies too. I don't want to talk about that for that long, but there we go. What are we supposed to talk about today? There's a whole bunch of stuff happens as soon as I stop recording this stupid podcast. In fact, just before I get to those, this week is Music Midtown Festival, which is a very expensive festival to see a bunch of mediocre musicians play. I feel bad for attacking them, but last week, and I've never been. I'm not going to pay $200 every day to go see somebody. Anyway, and then last week there was something called the One Music Festival, and that was in a park that's very close to me. The Music Midtown is going to be at Piedmont Park. They already set it up. In fact, last week I drove there. I live 2 minutes from there. I drove there. They're setting it up already. I drove there for a run. They're setting up it already. I couldn't run on Sunday morning. I got to come back here and run and through Pont City Market with all the floozies. So One Music Fest was going on in Central Park, and it was the loudest I could hear. I swear to God, I heard every lyric of every song. I have this desk. I got a chair for the desk. So I was sitting at the desk, TV muted, just watching football in the background. And all I hear is just T.I.'s, I'm gonna take the mic away from me. I like my beat down low, down low, down low. It is so loud. You can feel the vibrations. It was amazing. I hope everybody had fun. And it's slated to rain due to that hurricane. It's slated to rain this weekend, starting Saturday, and the festival's going from Friday to Sunday. So I really hope it doesn't rain on their concert, because I want people to have fun. I also want them to be safe. Crazy drivers out there. I've also started to listening to a bunch of music. I was going to talk about Goop and how they lied about their vagina eggs. If you don't know about that, go check it out. Gwyneth Paltrow. Gwen Stefani has an egg. No, Gwyneth Paltrow's company. They can't say that they have these eggs wellness eggs that women would stick in their hoo-has, and it was supposed to be healing and stuff like that. But apparently, it's all fake, of course. So go read that story. This is the one I'm talking about. Is from Jezebel. They had to pay $145,000 for lying to customers, apparently. Anyway, I started listening to Greta Van Fleet. They are a rock band. I really enjoy. I started listening to their album that came out last year. I think I was writing something and I was listening to, I guess, the rock station on Google Play Music, and one of their songs was suggested to me, and I thought, oh man, this is a wonderful song. And the album I'm talking about is I can't find it. It's an EP, Music videos From the Fires. Is that what it's called? Yeah, From the Fires. It's an EP. Great. It's 30 minutes. It's a lot of good. There's 8 songs, nice and tight. I really like it a lot. I don't know. I mean, just check it out. It's a good rock song, good rock album. Very, very nice to write to. Also, last week, Paul McCartney's album Egypt Station came out, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I have never listened outside of the Beatles, the Beatles catalog. I've never listened to anything by Paul. And I mean, I know he has a few hits here and there, but as far as I can tell, there hasn't been anything as interesting in the last couple of years. So I decided to check out his latest effort, which is the Grand Central, or Egypt Station rather, and it's a wonderful album. It's long, and there's really no deviances from what I would, I guess, dub it as rock. I mean, I know it's rock, but it's I don't know what kind of rock it is, because it's definitely not classic rock. It's just rock. Yeah, it's just rock. That's what Wikipedia is telling me. But it's a good album. I really had a good time with it. I haven't listened to it front and back enough times as I want to, but there's a lot of good songs on there. I don't know. Come On to Me. For Greta Van Fleet, check out their entire catalog. Wonderful. I enjoyed them. I don't know. Come to Me. Happy with You. Who cares? The song that he released as a single, "For You" is just. I heard it on a podcast on Who Charted, and I thought, oh, I don't want to check this out, but I do. But the album is pretty solid. I had a really good time with it. It's an hour long, which is, I would say, too long for a Paul McCartney, but because once you get down, there are 2 short, I guess, station based segments, and they're 40 seconds long each, but 16 tracks, including those things, it's just too much. Make it a double album if you're going to do that. Just wait. But I really enjoyed it. I also he kept he kept talking about his secret show. It's not really a secret if you keep talking about it. And I know he did it on purpose, but he went on the Tonight Show to talk about the album, and he kept, hinting at the, in quotes, secret show. And then, the next day, you find out it's a secret show at Grand Central Station. I was watching a local news segment from a New York based local news station, and they were there an hour or two, I guess, before he started playing, and people were already lining up at Grand Central Station. And my only thought was, oh my gosh, the poor people going home from work are just trying to go home. And these people are standing around in Grand Central Station just watching the stage that's already been set up. And he played. It's a YouTube original, so it was live streamed on YouTube, and it's YouTube original. So if you have YouTube Red, you can watch it for free. Although it is very difficult to find it, so I had to search on YouTube Paul McCartney live, Grand Central Station, Egypt Station, and all of that, Grand Central Station and Egypt Station. And it was like this. It was like the third thing down, because other people had taken clips already. It just clipped it off. But I check it out if you like it. He plays, I believe, some other versions, some songs of his that he already played. But definitely check it out. Also, GMA Afternoon started. If you don't know, Good Morning America. They are going to have an afternoon hour with Michael Strahan and Sarah Haynes. This is going to replace The Chew that was canceled after Mario Batali was found out to be a disgusting troll, as disgusting as he looks. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so the hour is starting, I think it already started, and it's going to air weekdays, 1 p.m. It's called GMA Day. It's going to be the same exact show, except it's going to have celebrity interviews, cooking segments, health and wellness features, feel-good stories, the same thing, but with a few twists, as per Variety. Quote, "We want to make sure when you tune in, you leave knowing something, that you are learning with us," says Haynes. "You can check out for an hour to be with us. You can leave a little bit better, but you will definitely leave happier."
ABC is keen on making sure viewers have a takeaway from many of the show's segments. Okay, so there you go. I mean, whatever. GMA is doing well for ABC, and I guess this is why they're doing this. You know, today is longer. Today starts at, I believe, 5 a.m., something like that, and they go till, or 7. I don't know. And they go till like 11. So, you know, GMA is going to be the one to try to take over, try to take their... GMA and Today fight for ratings all the time. I don't know if CBS this morning... I did an episode of News Time on all 3 morning shows, so I don't know. You can definitely go back and put my numbers up against that, but I don't know. CBS this morning is definitely not in the same region as them, but CBS this morning. I talked about Les Moonves last week in News Time. I think I talked about last week in this podcast as well, but definitely News Time. And the next day, as soon as I shot News Time, then like an hour later, Les Moonves was said to be stepping down from CBS. And I thought, yeah, of course it makes sense. He should have stepped down earlier when he was accused of... Well, when CBS had the findings, and also CBS is trying to go through a sale to Viacom. It's the whole thing, or Viacom, or they're trying to buy Viacom. I don't know, one of those things. But definitely, it's definitely a tough world out there for Les Moonves. He's still gonna get paid. He's gonna get a severance package. It's crazy. I also want to talk about the Creative Arts Emmys. They happened this last weekend. I gotta find a way. I don't have cable yet, or I don't have cable, and I really want cable, and I have no way. I can't pay for a streaming thing right now, so I gotta find some way to watch the Emmys next week. But the Creative Arts Emmys, a bunch of people won. We got, they did the TV movie, which is strange that they did it at the Creative Arts Emmys. Last year they did the TV movie, or for the past couple of years they waiver on doing TV movie in the live broadcast. But Creative Arts Emmys are basically the awards that you don't get to see. And that's where a bunch of shows shine. Westworld, I'm seeing, has won a lot for just a bunch, like hairstyling, makeup. It's amazing. And Cat Williams won for Atlanta. Cinematography won. Atlanta won in cinematography as well. Sesame Street won one for a child's program. Good for them. But Black Mirror, the USS Callister episode, is just took home awards. Atlanta won again, Barry, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Glow. Glow won for production design for a narrative program, half hour or less. Good for them. Marvelous Miss Maisel won one. See, look at this. This Is Us. Ron Cephas Jones won one for guest actor. Why did they do guest actor there? Music composition, Alienist. Really? Alienist won for special visual effects. Will and Grace won some. SNL won. James Corden's next. James Corden. Oh my God. All right. Well, so James Corden has this. He's not going to, they shouldn't get more. Short form animated, Robot Chicken. Wow. Family Guy, Alex Borstein won for voiceover performance. There you go. So there you go. That's the Creative Arts Emmys. I will talk about the Emmys and more in depth next week. They're going to be on a Monday night this time. So we will definitely be talking about that at a later point. Also, breaking news today. Henry Cavill is out as Superman. It sucks. He's no longer going to be Superman in the DC universe. Man, apparently they couldn't come to, he and Warner Brothers couldn't come to an agreement on a movie. This is from Hollywood Reporter. This is an exclusive from them. He's only been in Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, and he was barely in Justice League. And now he's just gonna not do it anymore. I know he didn't like it. I know he didn't like playing Superman because of basically what you have to do to your body to look good. THR says that he turned down a cameo in Shazam. Contract talks between Cavill's WME reps and Warner broke down, and the door is now closing on other potential Superman appearances. And now apparently the studio is said to be focusing more on their Supergirl franchise, which would actually muck up the timeline of Henry Cavill's Superman anyway, because Kara is technically older than Cal, but whatever. Furthermore, Warner's isn't likely to make another Superman solo film for at least several years. according to another source, Superman is like James Bond. And here's the thing. Here's a quote I really like. Superman is like James Bond, and after a certain run, you have to look at new actors, which is wonderful. I saw a tweet of this guy on Twitter who obviously who did a mock-up of a black Superman, and he was dressed in it. They had like special effects and everything. He was dressed in a very special Superman suit, and I thought, yeah, why don't we just every superhero should be treated like James Bond. We don't have to. I wish that, and DC's kind of already doing this, but years ago I thought it'd be better for DC if they didn't try to fight in the same arena that Marvel is fighting, and where they're building this universe. You don't have to build a universe. They could make and Ben Affleck's out as Batman too, and apparently they're looking for somebody else for him. But you don't have to play by the same rules Marvel does. And I'll get to that in a second, but they could have had Ben Affleck's Batman, who's an older, more just angry Batman, like the Dark Knight Returns. I believe that's the comic book, or the Dark Knight comic book. And then they could have had a Mexican Batman, played by I was gonna say Michael Pena, but I don't know why. I went to Mexican and I went to Michael Pena, because I don't even think he's Mexican. Or they could have had Oscar Isaac play a Batman. The only thing you need for Batman is you gotta learn how to fight, which they'll teach you, and then you gotta be charming and suave. And Oscar Isaac could have done that, or they could have for Superman they could have I don't know who's Superman, Jason Momoa, before they cast him as Aquaman. They could have had him as Superman. It wouldn't make sense. I don't know. But anyway, what I'm saying is they can treat every movie like it's a play, and just make one or two with these people, and then stop and then move on. Bo Burnham suggested something like that on his, I believe, second or third appearance on You Made It Weird with Pete Holmes, the podcast. And he said, why don't we treat movies like plays, have Daniel Day-Lewis do Lincoln for like 6 months, and then, bow out and somebody else just does it. Which I kind of disagree with, but I think it's an interesting idea to just have different people do different things. For Iron Man, who cares if Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man dies in the phase 18 of the Marvel movies? We could just have somebody else. For the early Batman movies, it was just like that. They weren't world building. They had Michael Keaton for 2 movies, and they had Jean-Claude Van Damme, I believe, or Val Kilmer. They had Val Kilmer. George Clooney was one. Just cast these. And obviously I understand that people, those last 2 movies weren't readily accepted, but we don't have to cast people. This doesn't have to take over someone's life. Wouldn't it be great if we just had, like there in Star Trek, John Cho's character was Sulu. He didn't come out of the closet, but he was depicted as gay, and you just saw it in a scene. It was one scene. They didn't say it out loud. You had to be paying attention. They got back home. Sulu ran over to his husband and their kids. I believe they had kids, but he ran over to his husband when they were safe. And I thought that's what wouldn't it be great if we just had, a Joker, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, who's gonna be maybe a one-off Joker, but Joaquin Phoenix's Joker could just pop up in the movie and not have an infatuation with Harley Quinn at all, or have Harley Quinn have an infatuation with him, but just be like this hypersexual, crazy lunatic who's ready to pounce on any man or woman in front of him, and just be like just be this weird sexualized person. Wouldn't it be great? I kind of rambled on for a bit there, but it sucks because for a lot of the audience, you're either Marvel or you're gone. And Marvel this is what I want to say earlier. Marvel is really good. It's like, think of the movie business as an ice cream shop, and Marvel is really,
really, really good at making vanilla ice cream. But in the end, it's vanilla ice cream. And sometimes I want chocolate. Sometimes I want cookie dough. Sometimes I want mint. Sometimes I want strawberry. I don't want vanilla all the time. And they're really, every single one of their movies, including Black Panther, every single one of their movies is really good vanilla. Really just wonderful vanilla. And if I go to the ice cream shop next door and I order the chocolate and it's not good, I'm glad I know it's not good. You know, say if the Swamp Thing TV show that's going to be on DC Universe, their online streaming thing, if that's not my cup of tea, well, then it's not my cup of tea. But I'm glad they made it. I'm glad they went out and did it. If the Titans TV show on the same streaming network, DC streaming service platform, if they curse in it and it makes me uncomfortable, but it feels like a CW show where they curse. Well, then I'm glad they did it, because it's not my cup of tea, but whatever. But we got Gal Gadot still coming back from Wonder Woman 1984. Apparently they have another Justice League movie. the Aquaman movie is coming out in a couple of months, and Ezra Miller's Flash movie is apparently supposed to start shooting. So we'll see what happens with this superhero stuff, but I just really wish it'd be so much more interesting if DC they're dipping their toe in with the Shazam movie and with the what's after Shazam? I don't know. The Shazam movie and oh God, what's coming out? It's Shazam and the Joker and Matt Reeves' Batman Year One, and then the Joker. They're dipping their toe in with these movies that don't connect to the overall universe, and that's how they treat their straight to DVD cartoon movies. And I really wish that that's how they treated their blockbuster movies. I know they have to make money. I know they have to make these franchises, but man, wouldn't it be interesting if we got 3 different Joker movies, and one was Jared Leto, one was Joaquin Phoenix, and one was Sandra Bullock. And she was the best out of all 3. And everybody had a good time, and we all got these different interpretations of the Joker. Like, I don't understand why everybody has to do the same thing. I know, like they said, oh well, Marvel's making, they did 19 movies and it took them 10 years and they make so much money, but it's boring. There's for every person that loves those movies, there's at least people like me who are just skeptical, like, man, I'm tired of superhero movies. I want something different. I'm tired of superhero explosion movies. And then they killed his character in Mission Impossible, so we won't be seeing Henry Cavill in Mission Impossible again. Oh, God. He brought it upon himself. He's a bad guy. But he will be in the Witcher TV series on Netflix, which I am excited to see. I've played 20 some odd hours of Witcher 3, and then I put it down, and I did not pick it back up. But I like the promise of that game. Anyway, I should probably hang up now. If you like this show, why don't you head on over to cpluscomedy.com, where there's some stuff. You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Oh God, I just had a stroke. Like us on Facebook. Continue listening to this podcast, but also head to the webpage, YouTube channel, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can get the premiere show News Time and maybe some other shows, also the video version of this podcast, and maybe some other shows that I definitely have written ideas down for the past week. I definitely do have at least 2 ideas down. News Time is great. It's a weekly news show about entertainment news business. This last week was I did another episode about ads. I do sometimes it's really, I do like really deep dives into stuff that's interesting. And then I do episodes about ads, and it's not interesting at all, but definitely check it out. It's, the television season is coming up after the Emmy season, after Emmys next week, and Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC are doing some different things with ads in order to retain the viewers that they're losing to streaming. Also, Amazon is hopping into the ad displaying game to join the ranks of Google and Facebook, who currently own over half of the $88 billion in ads and ad sales or ad money earned, whatever, for
streaming ads, for online ads, not streaming ads, for online ads. So definitely check it out. I make it sound smart. I swear to God, I make it sound smart. But thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And I'm going to hang up now. I love you.